Hello guys and welcome to another forecast. Today is Thursday and we have started to get some moves as expected. So as you may know, Mondays and Tuesdays are predominantly range bound, and on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday we usually get some nice high probability setups, and that's when I'm most active and that's when I'm most lenient with taking setups. And let's get right into the euro and US dollar. So in the prior price action, it did not look good. We had this indication of a range. Right here we got a descending structure going into an ascending structure, and then we did have a nice impulse to the downside. As you can see, we had a descending into an ascending, and then we impulsed to the downside, and the impulse was very nice. It was a high probability impulse, and at the end I was looking for a nice flag right here. So we did get a big wick. So for me, I do classify this, it's not really a large wick, it's more of a big wick, so a little bit less of a warning sign. But because of the flag formation, which was very small, as you can see, it was a very tight small flag, I was really happy to take it. For me, this was a really high probability setup, so I did not have to see a wider range because this was not that big of a wick. And I know if there is no momentum shift and if it's a really small flag, it usually tends to break the low and continue with some nice momentum. So I was very happy to take the risk. I was very happy to sell on the entry candle, which is the first bearish candle after the flag forms, as you can see here. And then what happened? Well, so price broke the low. I managed to reduce my risk, because when we break the most recent low or the most recent high, then I move my stop. So I moved my stop. First it was 12 pips and then it was reduced to around, I think it was 7 pips or 7.5, something like that. So I did manage to reduce my risk, and then I got taken out for a 0.6% loss. That's what happens, that's part of the probabilities. Usually these setups do work out, so unfortunately this time it did not work out, and next time we will see what happens. But I will keep taking these setups, these tight flags with no momentum shift, because I know it's a very high probability pattern. So yeah, took a loss right here. And then what happened? Price started ranging, created a huge wick up, created a huge wick down, so again giving us some warning signs, and then it created another huge wick up and then continued to the downside. So currently I'm not really seeing that much. I'm seeing just another range form right here, which is a warning sign, so I have to be a bit more patient. But what I do like is that we have started to break down, and we have started to maybe continue with this prior momentum. So that is one part I do like. As I just marked out, we are getting a wider range. But if we do continue with momentum to the downside, I will be looking for another flag, or maybe a break and retest trade, whatever sort of a continuation pattern we get. I just want to get in on this nice downtrend, but I want to see it push a bit more. I want to see more candles to the downside. If we do start to descend, then I know the move is ending and that we are very likely to reverse, so I will be looking for a reversal to the upside, of course. If we start to ascend, then I would be very careful, because we have a range prior. This would just go back in the range and continue with the ranging price action, which is not a good sign. That's a huge warning sign, and I'm not looking for any trades in that case. We can also get a V reversal, push up, look to buy, maybe on a nice flag or whichever pattern. Or we can also get a nice large impulse up, in which case I will look to buy on a nice continuation pattern. So that's about it for EU. Nothing more to say. To sum up, we had a nice impulse. Here we started to get crappy price action, lots of wicks, started to range around, but if we continue down, if we get more momentum down, I will be looking to get in on that downtrend. Now for the euro and the Japanese yen. So it looked very, very good at one point. There was a flag that formed right here. Right here, for a flag formed, which I did not take because the prior price action was signaling to me volatility. As you can see, we had a move up and a move down with the same sort of momentum. Usually when you see a V like that, we get a larger range. So I don't want to be taking any flags between the low and the high. I just want to wait for the break of the low or the break of the high. That's why I stayed out of this flag, because I expected a larger, wider range. So what actually happened, I would have been stopped out as far as I can tell. Let me check. Yeah, I would have definitely been stopped out. So it's good that I followed my plan in this case. And then we continue down as expected, because that is the common pattern I usually forecast, is the V, then the range, then another push down, and then we sort of start to trend to the downside. So usually this works out, and here we have a prime example that it does work out. But unfortunately what happened, we ended with an absolutely huge wick. So that is unfortunate. That is an indication a larger range will happen, and that we will not actually continue down and create a downtrend. But it is what it is. That is the evidence we have. So currently I'm seeing a huge wick down, huge wick up. I'm expecting a larger range in this area, something like this. What I'm looking for, I would really like to see for this to continue down. I would really like to see that. Then it would confirm the pattern I was just talking about, and I would be very happy to sell in that case. Another possibility is we can start to descend, signaling that the move has ended, and then get a reversal up. Then I would look to buy on a nice flag pattern. Or we can ascend, and then I would look for a reversal to the downside like this. That would definitely be a high probability setup. Also we can get another V reversal. Then we'll look for a range, push up, and look to buy. Same thing like this, just flipped on the opposite side. But again, I don't really see that happening. What I can expect is just a larger range because of these wicks. Unfortunately, that is what can happen. And if that does happen, we need to be careful about the liquidity areas. So if we get that larger range, I would be careful how the price breaks the low or the high. Do we just break and retrace? Or do we actually break and get some nice confirmation and some nice momentum down? So that's about it for EJ. Nothing more to say. Wait for the break of the low or the break of the high. And if we break with momentum, then do look for trades. But if we just break and retrace, it's going to range for a bit more, and I would be more patient. For the Aussie pairs, so Aussie US dollar also was in a trade. I talked about it yesterday, so I had a pending short order, and I did get tagged in. So as you can see here, I saw this downtrend. I saw a nice push down, clean close, so it can't get any better than this. This was looking very, very good, and I placed a pending short order at the inside bar. I always use the inside bar if it's available. If there's an inside bar, I'm placing my order at the low of the inside bar. And then I got tagged in and got tagged out immediately. So that's what happens. Took the full 1% loss, but I was really happy with the trade. It fit my plan 100%. It was a very, very good trade, and I'll take it again. They usually work out. I mean, for the past couple of months, I took two similar setups to this, and they worked out. So in the long run, it does pay off to take these setups. Then we broke the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced, created a huge wick, and now we're just stuck in this range as far as I can see. This is not looking good. We have created a huge wick down, huge wick up. I'm expecting just a larger, wider range, something like this. and that is just not a good sign. That is a bad sign. I am looking for a large push up or a large push down. That is the only thing I can look for, because at this point we're just ranging, unfortunately. Also, I'm looking for a nice clean ascending and then a reversal, or a nice clean descending, also a reversal to the upside. And yeah, I'm just looking for the price action to clean up, because when you see huge wick down, huge wick up, it just will range for a long time. What I'm expecting is that for this week, I think we will kind of range, and then in the next week, in the beginning, we will also probably range, but then maybe on Wednesday we start to get some nice moves. So looks like this pair is maybe going to sleep. But again, if we do break the low with momentum or the high with momentum, look for trades, but look for the price action to clean up. Now for the last one, so Aussie and the Japanese yen. So this one is looking the worst out of all of the pairs. We broke the low, retraced. As I talked about yesterday, I was not looking for a trade. At this point, I was kind of expecting for it to range, because this pair price action was pretty crappy. Lots of wicks, not really much momentum. Then we broke the low with some momentum but created the wick, and then we got this sort of an aggressive retrace, which is a big warning sign, and I was just not looking for any trades. The break was not enough and the pair price action was not looking conducive. So then we broke the high, retraced, created a huge wick, broke the low, retraced, created another huge wick, and as you can see, it's just wick, it's wick city, so wicks everywhere. Pretty bad sign, and my plan is to just wait out this larger range and be careful about the liquidity areas. Of course, always gotta make sure we watch the liquidity areas, and I'm just looking for a large push up and then maybe a nice trend to start up, or a large push down, maybe for a nice flag or a nice trend. I'm also seeing if we maybe ascend into the upper liquidity area, get the reversal. That is a high probability setup, so I am looking for that sort of a possibility, something like this. But then again, the Aussie Japanese yen is not really known for its reversals. It's mostly known for its continuation trades when we are trending. So that's about it for the forecast. I would be more careful with every pair. None of them really look that good, and we will see what will happen in the next couple of hours. Maybe tomorrow we get some nice moves, but I am expecting range bound price action as it is. So let's look for it to clean up, and then we will start to take some trades. And until then, do be patient and do be careful when taking setups. So that's it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.